Hi Virgo. All right, welcome. Welcome to now, Scorpio season, or whenever you find this. So, good. Yeah, we're good. All right, Virgo. Where do we want to begin? Oh, in your in your prayer, it was just like, and we've sung this before. It's this little song that goes, "Clearing out the old, making space for the new." So seemingly that's what somebody's doing, making some space, clearing something up. Something up. Um, yeah, actually, your fourth house does that space specifically. Oh, there's two people. Okay. Let's see notes. Let's go over notes first. The first thing I saw after I drew your map, we just took some logo ones. Was feeling more faithful. Feeling more faithful. And then energy and confidence. And this has to do with achieving goals. The feeling of achievement sits in and of itself, though the goals are sort of outside of that. It would be like, you know how, like, no matter how much you do, you never really feel like you've done a good job, like that part of a person. So I feel like a person's gaining more confidence in sort of melding these two things. There's also someone gets a second job, or there's two jobs to be done during this time, or two major things being handled in the world, and I feel like you can handle that. There could be a lot of communication for you at work. Maybe some of you are, piggybacking jobs, or again, you just get a lot on your plate that way. I really feel like you can handle it, but make sure that I'm seeing Vesta here in your first house. It's like, make sure that I heard you're making time to hear the birds sing, musician, or to maybe do something musically. This card is about, it says inspiration and gratitude. What are instruments that are native to your heritage or heritages? That's also something that wants you to listen to. African, French, whatever your natural instruments of the place where you come from, even if you don't live there. I wrote positive expression, clear communication, and then potentially for some of you, some kind of publishing. Your third and ninth house are really highlighted, so this is sharing of some kind of knowledge, sharing of some kind of information, putting it out there. It could have some technicality, maybe that's the publishing part. It's like there could be some technicality, paperwork to be signed in relation to what what a person is talking about. Maybe it's just getting things in a line, making sure I heard you're on the same page. And then less confusion around other people too is something that's happening. So if there's been any of that, I feel like that's smoothing out. I also sense for somebody that if you weren't feeling very well, I wrote end of some illness. So you could be getting over something right now that's kind of a big deal that was affecting, like, not only your body but your mind. Okay. Oh my god, okay. You always put everyone in front of yourself, don't you? It makes me want to cry just thinking about it. I mean, it's really humble. It's really humble. Because a person isn't like expecting a reward for what they're doing. But there's things that they want to do. But there's something that makes a person feel undeserving. I'm sorry when you feel that way. And then I looked up at feeling more faithful. Right? God gave you the brain, the body, the mind that you have, even your bloodline. You know, there's power in all of that. And you can choose to do what you will with it. That was part of the song too, making space, clearing out the old, making space with the new. Now you can do what you want to. Like you get to decide. And maybe the making space is making space from a feeling of undeserving. For that, yeah. Okay. I mean, Scorpio time is very healing, especially emotionally. So there's some kind of explanation that's had for something, and then maybe there's some an apology. Maybe some kind of explanation helps a person to not feel sore or sorry about something anymore. Because when you feel bad for doing something, you generally be like, "I'm sorry," right? I'm sorry. I'm sore about how I feel about usually something that a person is connected to. And again, I see a person realizing that they can make space from that kind of feeling. Right, I heard you're not a puppet on a string, so someone's getting a better hold over maybe like more unconscious or I feel like it's more Scorpio subconscious kinds of things. Okay. This could also be letting go. The word explanations turned into expectations. So someone's really in charge of a lot of things, and because of that, they have to do a lot of talking. But they want to make sure that that is understood by everybody, and so because of that, sometimes they have to apologize, like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm over-explaining this," like, or "I'm sorry, but I need to explain this," and that could be clarifying, so that there doesn't have to be an apology later, like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mention that," right? I just have, and maybe someone has a lot on their plate. There's a really generous kind of muse energy, but it's young. It's like a young. How do I explain this? Someone doesn't realize how influential they are or inspiring they are to others. They have no idea. Like someone could be someone else's muse, and it's like, yeah, someone doesn't have. Someone forgets that they can also, like, how do I explain this? Well, I'm seeing someone being inspired by themselves also, though. But only after the fact, like, wow, that was a pretty cool idea. But in the moment, it was just like, meh. Like, so a person creates so innocently They're not trying to get something when they're creating, and because of that, it's so beautiful. I'm being reminded of, pardon me, I'm being reminded of, do you remember the cheeseburger analogy that we have for you? Where it's just like, if you're going to make this meal, if you're worried, like, is this going to be okay? Am I going to overcook this? Like, then all that energy goes into it. And of course, it's like impossible to be perfect all the time. Pardon me. The cats are just playing kind of hard. But yeah, anyway, that. Okay, and then we have the poet. The puppeteer, the muse, and the poet. These are all artistic energy. Oh, there could be a really nice conversation right in this time frame for you. Maybe something for some of you in your heart that you haven't said quite, or maybe it's a conversation you no longer need to have. You can like put your clothes on it and start telling a different story about it. Oh, that's nice. We get the Spy Master in reverse, so it's like, right, this is about knowledge and mistrust. And it's coming in the inverse, so it's like we already know what the kind of like what things was. Okay. Let's choose a Zumi Wisdom card and see what she has to say. We'll keep those two for later. For Virgo. Some touchy things with family. Attempt. We have the card of attempt. Oh, it's these two. What's this reaching for? Oh yeah, it's Six of Swords and the Ten of Cups. So it could have to do, yeah, maybe something with family. Or extended. Ten of Cups is like any family though. It could be intimate or extended. Someone wants to know their history, but I don't know if they can get the answer. Success. I guess you got to ask the right questions to be able to So I'm seeing a blessing in disguise here. It's kind of like something is received, someone receives something, but not in the way that they expect. And I guess if you haven't heard from someone in a long time, again, family or someone that you feel that you would classify as family, maybe it would be good to put an attempt out to contact them. Or maybe you find out somebody moved and you're like, oh, that's why I couldn't get in contact with them. Or I haven't seen them. They moved, it's like they moved or they had something going on. We have objective. Okay. And I guess if there's a block with something, how do I see this? Oh, I saw the words mental illness. So something's soothing in the mind, starting to soothe in the mind. In relation to how... Because I'm almost seeing where like someone stabs themselves in the back. And this is also the six. This is basically, this power card is the Six of Swords. The Six of Spades here. So It's like someone's changing their frequency. Something softer. Patience. Huh. Give me a second. Well, objective is also like a family card. Four of Cups. I heard someone say, I don't wanna. It's not bratty, it's just scared. The Lovers and the Empress. Again, it's like a blessing in disguise. I don't know how else to explain it. Someone could also need support with something, but maybe they're not getting it in some way. I guess if it's not coming one way, then you gotta go another way to get it. But everything's kind of going on this side, it's all going this one way. So there's sort of these two different worlds happening. Six of Coins. Yeah, it reminds me of like threes on one side, threes on the other. So I saw two people where they were back to back, but they weren't dueling. They were friends. And then they circled back, and as they did when they met in the middle, they were facing each other. And I keep seeing the word again. So something repeats. What's the vulnerability with the relationships? Five of Cups. Oh, Virgo. I'm seeing where someone's paying more attention to where the energy is moving through their body when they're speaking or thinking, when using brain space, mental space. Because you have more water than anything. And I do think there's one thing that's really... It's where a person forgets that their cup overfloweth. It's like... Again, I saw the word deserving. And I saw someone crying and they were like, I want to love myself. Like God loves me. Knight of Cups. So loving. Wow. I mean, I guess there's so much responsibility over here on this one side. And then this is more, again, that artistic sort of flowing, free energy. It's not thinking about time or, you know, what the next thing to be done is or what that kind of thing. And So I guess the Six of Coins is suggesting to try to, it's just your birthday. So what was the contractual thing that you made with yourself? What did you want? What did you wish for yourself on your birthday? You know what I mean? Like what? That may be something to focus on. Okay. I'm going to say that's that. So this doesn't go too long. The time went slow on this reading, so I guess this time frame is like day to day. Maybe it goes to show you have more time than you think that you do with certain things. Okay. You can spread that out. It doesn't all gotta get in one day. So thank you for being here. In closing, I really appreciate you, Virgo. I actually thought about this morning over coffee. I was like, man, I should just make like a Libra or like a Virgo, Libra, Scorpio channel, because those are big ones for me. And sometimes it's just nice to have those kind of conversations where you're like, dude, do you know what I mean? And the other side is like, yes, I completely understand, and it sort of like lightens everything, so anyway, thank you for being here. I wanted to share one last little thing. Those of you who are here would probably be the ones that would want to be a part of this anyway. So I created a deck of cards, Virgo, in honor of Azumi. They're called Zumi Wisdom. And it's a limited run. I'm doing just a really small press because I'm doing everything myself. And making pouches for them, and making little magic boxes. But I'm gonna include the website if you want to check it out. Or if you'd like to share, if you can't support right now, or you're not interested in it, and somebody else you feel like would be interested in it, comfort. That would be awesome. It's been really a labor of love. It's beautiful. Those of you on Patreon, there's a whole video about that. I shared it over there recently too. So anyway, it was an honor to make it. It was totally inspired by, of course, Azumi, her presence in our life and in our healing. Your presence in my life, in her life, was just, it's amazing. And so if you want to check them out, feel free. All right, I love you so much. Peace.